Hello, ladies, and welcome to our first virtual workshop. Today's first card is using one of the papers from the Christmas catalog. This is a very simple card. We're using this beautiful poinsettia paper, and I'll list all the products in a separate email or at the bottom of this video so you'll know what I used. I'm using this shaded spruce paper and, just a simple saying. So this is the outside of our card. And I just used a scrap piece of paper for the inside. Of course, you can stamp a saying or just write your note. Now, this doesn't have to be just for Christmas, this bow. Another sample is using different paper, a different, I don't know if you can see, embossing folder for your ribbon. Of course, different inks and a different saying. Another variation is this one right here. Again, different embossing folder, different paper, and different inks. Alrighty, the products that we'll be using are these. We're going to be using the gift wrapped stamp set. This is a polymer set. It has 3 big bows, which you can punch out with this punch right here. And you can buy these in a bundle. Now you have some little ones that you could use just to stamp. We also, to get some texture in our ribbon, use this subtle dynamic textured embossing folder. This gives us a really nice pattern. It's very hard to see on the video. But it just gives you a little bit of texture. And then I used the shaded spruce to stamp the bow in. I used this Alt New Crisp Pigment ink, which is a wet ink that you could emboss with, but I used it just to stamp to get the very crisp look to my tag. I also used this Delica Golden Glitz, and what I did was took my sponge dauber and both my bow and ribbon and just lightly ran it over. So when you're assembling, check your sides and make sure you're using the one that has the slight sparkle. Now to assemble our card, you take your base, you glue on the top and it's totally flush. You can also use the scrap right here for the inside, right here. Use those scraps. So your card's going to look like this, and we'll go back to the sample. Then you're going to take your 4 pieces of paper here, and you would lay them on your card kind of crisscross, and they will overlap, so you can just cut off the tails once you've got them set up the way you want. A little crisscross here. So it looks something like that. I mean, when you're on a flat surface, it's much easier. And then you're going to take your bow, and the reason you have 2 is that so you can kind of move them around. If you'll see on this one right here, there's the top layer, and then I have a pop dot, and there's the bottom layer. And I just kind of, like I said, I move these around until I got them to look the way I wanted. And then I press them down. And then I sponge that gold around the card here and just attached it. And so that is the first card. Very simple. The bow is multi-purpose, so it doesn't have to be just for Christmas. It can be a great birthday kind of punch and stamp set. So that's our first card. Bye-bye.